Unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time. So I watched the final season, the last two final seasons of The Righteous Gemstones, because Danny McBride is funny. Adam Devine, that's his name. Adam Devine is funny. And the star of the show is the woman that plays the sister, Judy. I don't know her name as an actress, but she's maybe the most fun to watch. But of course, if you're watching it, you have to endure all the political bullshit, which is basically, in a nutshell, white people are stupid. White Christians are stupid. Straight white male Christians are the worst of the worst. And they are the only people you can still make fun of. And you can make fun of them as much as you want. You can call them a white nationalist. It's okay to shoot them. It's okay to use the FBI and the ATF to shoot them. They're all backwards Southern hicks. They're stupid. But the funny thing is weirdly, if they're trying to make the point that white Christians are fragile and, and deluded, they continually keep making the opposite point. What they're basically doing, and on many different levels. First, white people can obviously take a joke. If you were to do what the Righteous Gemstones if you were to portray any other racial group or religion the way Righteous Gemstones portrays straight white Christians, you couldn't do it. You could do it, but nobody's there to do it. Who wants to do it? This idea that white people hate other races and, it's like, white people could make movies like that. They could make a series where they were making fun of only black people or only Indians or only Jews but they don't. Why? Why don't they? Why isn't there this separate network of miniseries and that just poke fun at Jews or Indians? Why don't you see any of these shows being made by white people? Well, I don't know. The suspicion is that they just don't want to do it. They don't care. They're not into it. It's not in their collective heart, so to speak. But they could, and they don't. So that's the evidence. The evidence is they don't exist, and they could. So you might glean from that data that that's not an accurate portrayal of white people to say that they hate everybody who's not white. Because they'd make shows making fun of them. They don't. They just don't. In fact, they make shows making fun of themselves. Most of the people in that show, I think Danny McBride, he's a white guy. Adam Devine, that sounds like a Jewish name, so that's pretty typical. The woman, I don't know what her name is. I suspect there's a lot of Jews in the mix, just because, Hollywood. Although they did move it to North Carolina, the production. So why not make fun of the people right there in their own backyard? It's so cartoony. And the white people are involved in it. I don't know if you remember how South Park lampooned the Mormons in the Book of Mormon. And how did the Mormons respond? Hey, haha, good joke. Let's take it out, add out in your program. White people can take a joke. And by the looks of things, they are the only people who can take a joke. Now, I don't think that's true, but that's certainly the world that's been constructed currently. And ironically, if you watch the Righteous Gemstones, it's comically bad in this regard. I mean, it's funny because the performances and whatever, and it's fun to make fun of stuff. And mega churches are a good target, especially the people at the top of the mega churches. But the problem is it also makes fun of the people who go to mega churches too. And what is that about that the left always says? Never punch down. Are you sure it's not punching down to make fun of backwoods people or poor people that go to mega churches on Sunday to get a relief because they like a big fancy building and a nice production? It's like a free concert every week with good bass and good sound system and good laser show, And they can basically go if they want to for free. They don't have to actually donate. They can go see, But that's that's punching up because they're white. Doesn't matter if they're poor. It's still punching up. So again, they're confirming. They're the ones that are saying white people are supreme because white people can take a joke, and no matter how poor they are, they're still punching up. They're making the case. And incidentally, the fun thing about that show is that you can imagine the meeting. It's just like, we want to make a show making fun of megachurches. Great. Are you making fun of straight white males, straight white people, Christians? Great. We're on board for that. We can do it. But we need to make sure that you have enough black people in it. Oh, wait, how do we do that? How do we get enough black people in there? Oh, I know. We can make one black advisor that's a good guy. So one black person in a cast of... So we're going to give one black person a job. Right. Can he be funny? No. He has to be serious. Okay. So, okay. Well, maybe we can put one other black guy in, but they always have to be good. They can't have funny roles because it's a comedy. And in order to be in a comedy, you have to be able to make fun of yourself. But black people can't handle that. This is according to the white people that are making the show, or the Jews. So basically, they've constructed this whole series where no jobs are available for black people because you can no longer put black people in funny roles in a deprecating comedy scenario. That doesn't sound condescending or exclusionary at all. Yet that's the effect. No funny black people in the whole series. Is that the equality you guys were looking for? It's kind of amazing. It's like it's created this, the same old thing that they've always done, the left. They created the KKK to exclude non-whites with all these different rules, whatever. Here's a funny costume. And now they've come around and they're doing the same thing, creating a whole industry where they exclude people and pretending they're doing something different. But that's what they're doing. No, you can't be in our comedy because you won't make fun of yourself, or we can't allow you to make fun of yourself. We can't allow you to be funny. Self-deprecating humor, that's our thing now. It's funny because the Jews kind of have the self-deprecating humor a little bit, but you don't see it in any sense where they're making fun of the religion, where right down at the core, Righteous Gemstones goes out of the way to try to spin in a little bit of earnestness, but it's always pathetic and stupid. And at the end, it's like, it's condescending. There's no dignity in it, and it's really kind of hard to have. I'm kind of glad the series had to end because you can only keep characters around for so long if you don't give them any dignity, and there was really no dignity. They would pepper it in. Like, I know they know this principle, so they'd try, but it was like the bare minimum. Not enough to sustain it, you know? I don't know if I haven't heard other people talking about the Righteous Gemstones. The only other people I hear talking about the Righteous Gemstones are people that are in the Righteous Gemstones as they go around promoting the Righteous Gemstones. So that should tell you something there. Again, I enjoyed it. I like watching Danny McBride. Some of the things were very funny. It's in one ear, out the other ear. I had to get a recap on season 1 and season 2. It's like I never saw it. You know, I literally had to ask Grok to do a replay for me because I watched some episodes or started one and I was like, I don't remember any of this. It's just empty, passive entertainment, you know. But yeah, interesting shit, you know. Create a way wherein you can't make fun of black people, can't make fun of Jews or Indians, and therefore you can't cast those people, only at the bare minimum 1 or 2 black people in the whole entire thing. Meanwhile, all the white guys with beards are getting jobs. All they got to do is make fun of themselves for being Christians and straight, which apparently white people can handle. But I wonder if it's even good. I started wondering while watching it and after, is self-deprecating humor good? I tend to like it, you know, but why? Why do I like it? Have I been taught to like it? There's certainly other kinds of humor. You know, black people like making fun of each other, you know, or other people. Black people like to make fun of white people. And it used to be that white people would make fun of black people and Indians. You used to see the jokes where everybody was making fun of each other. But suddenly, the culture shifted where self-deprecating humor was elevated. And, you know, I kind of thought that I liked it, and I kind of thought that I reasoned my way into it. Like, you know, oh, well, you can show that you can take a joke, don't take yourself so seriously, all that other kind of shit. And I think I got wrapped up into the idea that it is good, that it shows some sort of value. But then when I was watching this series and realizing that birth rates are plummeting, white people are disappearing. They are. I don't really care because, you know, whatever comes out. I think I think nature wants beige. I don't think nature wants white. I don't think nature really wants redheads. I think over time, as people can migrate or whatever and move from where they sprung up out of the earth or whatever, the pasty people will get darker, the darker people will get lighter. And just, I think nature is looking for a medium, you know? But that notwithstanding, the political forces in the way of doing that can be kind of annoying. Like all the negativity directed at one group and saying, you guys should be self-deprecating. You guys should be. You can be. And I thought, well, how is self-deprecating humor and suicide related? Suicide, you're not killing somebody else, you're killing yourself. Self-deprecating humor, you're not criticizing someone else, you're criticizing yourself. In other words, you're not being a mitigating factor in the world. You're not providing the balance. The thing that's fun about insulting other people and being insulted back is you learn to toughen up. Your skin gets thicker, you know. You learn how there's a strategy. Imagine if watching animals, if you saw a bunch of cats, you know, playing in the grass, and they're all attacking each other the way they do, but you got one cat over here that's only attacking itself, hanging its head low and punching itself in the face, and fake clawing itself in the face. Would you think, oh, that's a smart cat? He's just a self-deprecating kind. Not to mention the fact that that cat is not helping the other cats. It's just by itself, it's not providing a service. The fact is it's important to make fun of other people. And it's important for other people to make fun of you. That's obviously missing right now when it comes to white Christians. It's insulting that I even have to say this, but because we can all see it, and it's well worn by now. Everybody sees that white people can only be cast as buffoons and doofuses and bad and evil. And you can't cast a black person can't be cast as an evil villain anymore. It's a lot of good roles. They got to be white. A lot of roles going to Russians, If you want to be known as this milquetoast, non-offensive, non-funny, non-remarkable person, well, there's a lot of room for you in Hollywood right now if you're brown. But you're not going to get anything. Well, there are some roles available. There's exceptions to everything. But you know what I'm talking about, the general rule. But again, it's that thing. And I really do wonder if maybe self-deprecating humor was the beginning of what seems like a problem now. The fact that white people automatically said, oh yeah, we'll stop saying the N-word, or we'll stop saying this racial word, or that racial word. We'll stop doing that. It's the same thing as just Righteous Gemstones. It's basically condescending and saying you can't handle it. I can handle it. You tell me, you can make fun of me and I can handle it. I won't be driven to violence, but apparently if I say this word or say this combination of words or explore this idea and make fun of you, well, you can't handle it. You'll be driven into this state of violence and, no control, out of control, just weeping and wailing and, because you're somehow an inferior creature. That's the implication. That's the implication. Is it true? I don't think it's true. Maybe it is. I mean, the evidence right now, unfortunately, points to the fact that it might be true because everybody's going along with it. And so really, you just got to look at reality and you go, what's the evidence? The evidence is that you can't say the N-word because certain people will become violent. In fact, even if you talk about it, the way I'm talking about it now, somebody's going to pipe in and say, you wouldn't dare say it in this neighborhood. In other words, the threat of violence will come even on the topic. But there's no threat of violence on the other side. You can make fun of the Righteous Gemstones all you want. You can portray white people as backwards teeth, toothless, fucking hairy, greasy, weird, deranged people polishing their guns and hiding in tents in the backwoods, preparing for the second coming of Christ and the end of days. You can do that all you want. Do you see any white people besides me complaining about it? And what do their complaints look like? A pseudo-intellectual conversation on a stupid fucking recording posted to Facebook and YouTube. No rioting in the streets. Like, even to make the joke, you have to step into satire. The way that those gemstones and the people in there were portrayed it doesn't even conform with reality. You have to lie about them. You have to twist their motives. You have to misrepresent them. Because the comedy version doesn't even exist, which is exactly why that show had a ceiling as to how funny it could be. Because in humor, you have to have some truth. You just have to have some truth. And there is some truth. That's why it was kind of funny, because there is some truth to the lying and conniving mega church types. Good target. But once you have to wrap in the Appalachians and the backwoods Christians, it's just like, okay. And once you start going, the black guy, oh, that's the hero. He's the wise, patient one. It's just like, are you kidding me? It's so insulting. Like if I were black and I'd be like, what? What the fuck is this? I don't know. So look, Wakanda isn't real, guys. Everybody knows that. Maybe certain black people don't know that, but Wakanda isn't real. Africa sucks. It sucked for a long time. That's why that Gods Must Be Crazy was a funny movie. Because it was truthful and funny. You need the truth to be funny. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you wean yourself away from self-deprecating humor after it's become such a, I don't know, it digs in there and gets to be part of your I don't know, your whole point of view, But I think it's probably bad. I think self-deprecating humor is also like self-harm and suicide. I think it's very important to not censor your real humor and your ability to target others. Like, yes, be mean. It's good. That's the kittens playing. Rah, I'm going to get you. I'm going to attack you. That shows love, to make fun of somebody, to help them sharpen their spears without violence, words, jokes, That's a service you do for other people, to make fun of them, to tease them, I think I'm probably too sensitive because I probably didn't get enough of that as a kid, or maybe I was, I think I can take a joke pretty well. But maybe, the idea behind taking a joke is sometimes it hurts and you have to just go, okay, hold on, take a deep breath. I can handle this. I can make it funny. It's all in good fun. This is teaching me to not take myself too seriously from the outside. Now I respond. Now I throw it back. But that's the key part. You got to throw it back. And the people that are telling you can't do it, because if you make fun of a black person, you're a racist. Or if you make fun of a Mexican person, you're a racist. Or an Indian, or your brother, or your sister, or whoever the fuck it is. Anybody that's telling you can't do it, they're fucking up the whole system. They're throwing the whole thing out of whack. I don't know. That's probably about enough of that. The Righteous Gemstones, I don't recommend it. I mean, it's funny. Again, you'll get a couple laughs, but ultimately it's forgettable and just kind of a one more eye roll where you just kind of want to, I kind of want to get into a van with Danny McBride and just go, Danny, why? Why? I'm sure he would say because it's funny. And it is funny. But it's just like, Danny, isn't it also funny to make fun of your black friends? Isn't it also funny to make fun of your Jewish friends? Isn't it also funny to make fun of your Mexican friends? Oh, I don't know about that. Really? Do you really not know about it, or are you just being a big fucking fat pussy? Because that's what it looks like to me. It It looks to me like you're a big, fat, fucking pussy who doesn't dare to make fun of anybody but straight white people. All right, I've bored myself. Thanks for listening. Unnecessary outro song to totally